And Coach Poppie, again, I want to thank you for taking the time during a game week, which is a good thing to say this time of year, to join us, especially on an evening like this. So how's it going tonight, sir?
Well, yeah, I appreciate y'all having me. It's always nice to be playing in the big dance in March, right? You're practicing for a reason still. So it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Again, we appreciate the time and just willingness to come on and talk about your team and the opportunity ahead of them for sure. So, we saw pictures from the Selection Sunday show over there at Chattanooga Coca-Cola, our friend Darren Hodges over there. So kind of talk about that, kind of a good way for the team to be rewarded for, the program's 20th Southern Conference Tournament Championship and back-to-back for you and this team after last year's Southern Conference Tournament Championship. So just kind of talk about that and kind of, one, final, non-pressure situation to enjoy that and seeing where you guys are going to be playing this weekend.
No, absolutely. You said it there first. We're very, very appreciative for Darren and his whole staff. They did an unbelievable job hosting us. We had talked about trying to get a little bit more intimate environment for our girls to be able to be celebrated. I feel like it's much deserved for all they've put in. And he did an unbelievable job hosting and making it feel really, really special. Obviously, our athletic administration did a lot behind the scenes as well, and I definitely know that our kids were really enjoying the moment. And, at best you get 4 of these in a college career. A couple of them have had the experience now 2 years in a row. And it was just a fun night of interacting with fans and donors and friends and family that were there. Really a special night, and obviously sitting there and waiting for your name to get called, it's a good thing because we knew for sure no matter what our name was going to be called. Right? I've been on the flip side where you're hoping your name is called. In that situation, we knew it was going to be called, and having an opportunity now to go up to Raleigh and face a really good NC State team this weekend.
Yeah, Coach. Again, thanks for coming on. And just talk about, obviously, like you said, you're comfortable coming into Selection Sunday, kind of knowing where you're going to be playing or knowing that you're going to be playing. But what do you take with you kind of with your experience from within the conference of NC State, ACC action, and your time at Virginia Tech? Was that something you were kind of happy to see come across the line, or are you ever kind of happy to see a team as good as NC State come up? I know anytime this time of year you're going to be playing high-level competition. So just kind of what's it like kind of seeing that familiar place go up? Do you think that'll help you in any way with your women's team coming up in this next ball game here?
Yeah, no, I mean, as we go in, we're pretty much new projection-wise. You'll be in a 13 or 14 seed. I thought that was kind of where we stood. Which means you're playing somebody really darn good, right, on the other side of the thing. Obviously, when you get to this tournament, a lot of it's matchup-based. And NC State's a really good basketball team. It's nice for me personally. Wes does an unbelievable job, did while he was here, and has continued to do it at NC State. But when I was at Virginia Tech, that was my scout. So I played him twice a year for 7 seasons. He got the better of us most of the times early on while we were there. We started to flip that a little bit towards the back end of my time. But the thing about it is that they're for Wes's sake, he's played pretty much the same way his whole career. Now he has little wrinkles and obviously different players, and they got some really good ones. And he finds times to pick on you when he can. He can. He's playing chess while most people are playing checkers over there. But I am very familiar with his playbook and his style and philosophy. Which it makes it a little bit easier when you think about it's already a tall task at hand as you're scouting them and how are we going to try to guard them. They're much bigger in most positions than us, and how do we then try to exploit our advantages? Because I think we do have some as well.
Yeah, for sure. And, and you talked about, this some of your players having, back-to-back experiences now going into the NCAA tournament. I think you have 5, players that are back on this year's team that got some experience last year, roughly 130-plus combined minutes and about 20 points combined. Obviously, it was a loss last year, but, combine that, like you said, with the fact that you are somewhat familiar with NC State and, PNC Arena there in Raleigh. Kind of talk about the lessons learned from that last year's tournament appearance for the team and kind of how they can apply that going into a home environment for NC State on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other piece that sometimes we forget because she wasn't with us, she was at Tennessee Tech, but Jada Gwynn, our transfer, had the opportunity to go play in the play-in game and win a game, and then play Indiana last year with Tennessee Tech. So all 5 of our starters that were run out there played in the NCAA tournament last year. And I think definitely internally here, I think last year the experience was we were continuing to try to convince our group that we could still be okay, right? That we didn't have to be superhero-ish while we played. That didn't go quite as well. I thought we competed very, very hard, but I think at the end of it, they could take a step back and think, wow, like it's not, we don't need to be nervous. We don't need to be intimidated, right? We can go out there and be ourselves, and we can compete. I think this year's group can lean on some of that, but they also can look around the room and realize we are a little bit more talented and deeper. And we got some veterans that have had that experience. And I think we lean on a lot of that internally, knowing our staff will put them in the best positions to be successful. And they trust that, and if it doesn't work, we'll try plan B. And I think when you got a full trust, a full buy-in, not only internally when you think player to player, but player to coach and coach to player, we're gonna have an opportunity to go up there and play with a lot of confidence and play free. I think the last piece of the puzzle is it's the first time in a long time this team has been able to play with some freedom. Right, we are the underdogs, and we've had a target on our back in our league. In most of the non-conferences, expectations were high that we were really, really good, and we are. But when you get matched up like this on the road, playing in their home facility, a lot of people have counted us out, and it'll be fun for this group to be able to play with some freedom again for the first time.
Yeah, Coach, you kind of answered the question I was coming with, but I guess it sounds like going up there kind of playing for fun, as it were, you just kind of with, like you said, little to no pressure. I know there's always pressure in these events, but to kind of go up there and say, hey, we're the dog, let's just go out here and roll it out here and anything can happen. And, you got 2 fans over here pulling for you guys, and I believe they're going to win. Was 0-4 the last time the Mocs got the win in the tournament? So 20 years or close to it, so let's get another one.
That's the hopes. Like I said, I really like the group we have. We're playing with confidence. We're playing together. We're able to handle some adversity, which we're going to have some, right? You think about that arena, and it gets a rocking. I've been in that arena when it gets going, and we're going to have to control that. Obviously, get a little bit tighter, a little bit closer, and I really like, again, the team we got to take up there. And anytime you're getting to play with house money, you never know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Coach Poppie, again, UTC women's basketball head coach, I want to thank you so much again for taking the time to join us here on our Off the Bench program here on the Talk Monster. And before we get you out of here, obviously, like you said, March Madness is here. Obviously the term the big dance is going around. Want to kind of throw just a non-basketball question at you. Obviously, what would be on your playlist as far as a go-to song with, the word or words dance or dancing in it? Obviously, you got several options here. Dancing Out of the Way, Van Halen. You have, Billie Eilish, Generation X, Dancing with Myself.
I'm a big Lady Gaga fan, so Just Dance by Lady Gaga.
There we go. Hey, that's okay there. I wouldn't mind that one. It's interesting. It doesn't have necessarily dance in it, but It talks, in a sense, if you go back and watch Lose Yourself by Eminem, and it's really talking about his opportunity on stage when he was battle rapping, right? Now, it's not a dance per se, but it was his experience and song that I listened to before every single game because you get one moment, right? And we get an opportunity in this madness that we call March Madness for a chance to dance instead of battle rap, and we'll see what we got.
Well, I like that. Out of the box, something we weren't thinking of, Justin Sims, for sure. So we'll be pumping that. We're going to have to make that a bumper music selection at the end of the show for sure. So, well, again, Coach, thank you so much again for taking the time. I know time, especially evenings right before a game, is precious for you and your family, but we appreciate you taking the time. Good luck Saturday against NC State, and safe travels over to Raleigh, okay?
I sure appreciate you guys having and sharing our story. It means a lot. So you guys enjoy it, and anytime we can get on, we're here.